All right, good morning, folks. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone's having a great morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. As we get into this special Wednesday, right? Wednesday, September 11. So we'll talk a little bit more about that, how we're going to be honoring and remembering September 11. Norm will get into that when we get to the announcement. So welcome to the pre-market show, guys. Let's get into, as usual, our stock and watch list from yesterday. Here's what we had. We had some possibles, a good one, MNK, which Norm had for us, and a few of you guys pointed out yesterday. And then we'll go into our gappers list. In here we have quite a bit already on here. Fran, I think this is a low flow stock, right? Yeah, this was very active yesterday as well. We have Play and another one here that I haven't seen in some time, but with some good percentages, down 15 and down 20. They're not low flow, so that's good. Looking forward to see how that pre-market activity is looking this morning. So let's see what we had, guys. Let's start over with ACAD. So ACAD here. Wow, I got tons of levels on this thing. Just gonna remove some because it seems pretty crowded. So ACAD, let's get to our 5-minute charts. Let's kind of review how this thing traded yesterday. We were looking for a possible continuation from the day before. The day before was very active, gapping up quite a bit, and we did get a nice play out of ACAD yesterday. So we'll look in our 1 minute, get both charts on here. All right, perfect. So ACAD yesterday, again, this one dropped off here, people taking some profits, and look at this beautiful VWAP reversal. Again, this is not an easy trade to take, guys. VWAP reversals are very they can have a lot of fake outs because it could be a pullback for a possible continuation. The key in that strategy on this VWAP reversal is to make sure you have your tight stop below the candle before you, and then you ride up towards the VWAP. And in most cases, you're going to get this VWAP, and if it can hold, it'll go up above VWAP. So again, just a beautiful continuation from yesterday. Hits the high of the day. Look at this retest of the VWAP, and then continues higher, breaking the high of the day. It's just a beautiful play if you were looking for this. So if you missed the VWAP reversal, which is a tough strategy to trade them and perfect, you had a beautiful bounce off here on VWAP on the way up. Next we had Wendy's. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. Sorry I'm a minute late. I had a technical problem, and then of course when I restarted, told me I had to update. So hope you're doing all right too, man.
Yeah, doing good. Yeah, I was slightly late as well. I also had to do some stuff on the computer also. So here is Wendy's. Wendy's was also, it was a very nice trade after this first 15 30 minutes or so. It became a beautiful short. I got stopped out twice. Once on this, and then the second one worked out okay. But again, if this is very choppy at the open, then finally lost VWAP here, and just look how beautifully this trade, right? So anybody that got in for a third time, if you were stopped out twice on open range on the 5-minute or a 2-minute like I did, if you waited patiently, you can see the false VWAP breakout. And this is why I like to wait, right, for it to retest that moving average. So here you got the breakout candle, comes back and retest. Let's say you would have got here for a long, right? It's better than being here for a long and then getting stopped out over here. You're here for a long, you get stopped out here, but you got a better risk to reward if this thing is going to go higher. Unfortunately, it cannot get higher. It cannot establish a trend above the VWAP, becoming a false VWAP reversal, and then a beautiful short towards the bottom. So Wendy's was nice, but again, it took a bit to get going. Ford yesterday had this incredible candle here, a huge rejection all the way back down. I thought for this thing probably would have sold off, but after going short, it didn't really get going much. Final level around this area here, which was some support in the pre-market, and from there just took off right to VWAP. Again, here's that candle we talk about above the VWAP, comes back and retests. That's your entry to go long, and you can see how beautiful this thing is. So that was nice. Here's Roku again, just giving some back, and then I think it sold off even into later in the afternoon, right, with the news of Apple and their streaming services. I think what kind of is hurting them a bit today, and Norm can speak a little bit more about that, is the free streaming on any Apple device for a year, right? So if you're getting something free, you're not going to pay somewhere else for it. So that's going to hurt them a bit here, as you can see down here. So as an amateur analyst, I'm switching my 200 to 170 for the end of the year. So that is Roku. And here we have Apple. So Apple, again, pretty active as well. Had a lot of volume. nice drop here, but then it found a beautiful base. Look at this base here, reverses nicely, almost not quite, but almost like it was going to engulf back up, heads to VWAP, back down, tests the VWAP, and then becomes a beautiful long after holding the VWAP for a bit here. So that was nice on Apple. TWOO, I didn't watch the price action on this one very closely because I did switch this one to MNNK, but it looks like it's opened up pretty choppy. But wow, look at this pop here. That's incredible. So if you took that trade, that's nice. But again, I'm not sure how this trade, it looks like it was very choppy and difficult to get into any position here. The 1 minute looks very clean though. So depending how the price action was, that could have been a beautiful trade if you're looking for a trend trade there. CTRP, I didn't watch, so I'm not sure how that traded. But again, it looks very wild. It doesn't like it was. Looks like it was choppy. And MNNK, this was definitely the trade of the day. This thing went all the way up to 380. So this thing was gone. It had a lot of great strategies on here, guys. So let's go through them really quick. You had your opening range break up here on the 5. That would have been a nice one to get in on. And then you had a beautiful ABCD pattern on the 1. You can see here the retest of this moving average. And then it just goes on this beautiful trend trade. I mean, and then look at these levels that we have as well that we looked in our pre-market, right? We had 272. We had 312. We right to it. And then we had 388. Couldn't really get right to it. 270 was kind of tight. You also had a level here around 360. We did not have them on our chart, but again, this was pretty much extended. But these two levels hit perfectly, so it was nice to see that. So that's what we had. Go ahead.
388 did too. That's exactly what it closed at yesterday.
Oh, I'm not looking at the whole entire thing here. Hold on a second. Oh, okay, nice. Look at this. Oh man, wow. I mean, these levels, guys, there are no joke. Let's go back to our daily chart just to see this. Look how we got this 388 from here. Wow, that is very, very nice. So seems like it's pretty active today, by the way. Down 8%, 1.1 million shares traded. So that's going to be interesting to watch today. We don't have shares for short, but we'll see if this thing can create a good falling angel opportunity. All right, let's get into some news, guys. Norm, what do we have today? What are we looking forward to?
Frankly, not a whole lot. SPY is essentially flat. It's up 0.1%. Producer price index came out just a minute ago, right when we were coming on. It came out at 0.1%, which was estimated at 0, so slightly higher than estimate. Wholesale inventories 10 a.m. this morning. We've got a good chunk of data coming out tomorrow and Friday, and then of course the Fed meets next Tuesday, Wednesday, and will release its rate policy decision on Wednesday in the afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see. That's about it. I was kind of anticipating a slow few days yesterday. Mm-hmm. It was, we had almost no gappers, but we found some things despite that that mostly worked, and we might have to do the same again this morning. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this is the great part about being part of a community, because a lot of you guys, even the members here and even the YouTube chat, when they throw out some stuff that we might not see, again, it's better to have a lot of people looking for the same exact setups. That definitely helps a lot. Let's start over with Fran. So Fran, FRAN, is a low flow stock. This is a 2.8 million shares flow, so very low flow. Had a big day yesterday. You can see here is it's not doing all that great this morning, but it does got some volume. 311,000 shares traded. This could be a good possible for the low flow team because you can get some kind of continuation today. It is selling off quite a bit right now, but it's still up 3.8 with some decent volume. So this could be a good one to watch later. Let's see how that plays out. If we can hold this previous day close and not sell off completely. Our next one here we have is Play. So Play is down quite a bit. Down 15.6. We have traded this one in the past. You can see the nice daily levels we have here and how that stock has been trading across the board here. So we left off yesterday at 43.72. That was your previous day close all the way up here. We actually lost a lot of support on here heading down to 36. Even this one at 38, which we were holding for a bit. So and if you look at this range, this thing had a drop already a couple of months ago, back in June, had a big drop, consolidated here. We even lost the bottom of this drop as well. So what's going on with Plays today, this morning? Play
So Dave & Buster's released earnings, and the most important part was because they actually beat their estimates, and revenue was slightly better than expected, but they lowered their guidance, talking about a competitive environment. So that's what's hitting them this morning.
Gotcha. So pre-market activity does have some volume, 141,000 shares traded. Let's hope that gets better. We do have shares for short, and I do like that we have lost all these levels on here, so that can cause some good action for us. Next, we have ZS. So ZS is down 20%. Also a nice big drop. This has been on a beautiful downtrend over the last couple of days, so that's good. Hitting this moving average is losing. That's the 50, I assume, or the 200. That is the 200. Yeah, so losing the 200 from yesterday, and now we're down 20%. What's the news on ZS?
Pretty close to the same as Dave and Buster's. So they beat earnings, they beat revenues, but their guidance was a lot weaker, and it's feared they're getting hit by increased competition in their space. So that's what's hitting Zscaler.
Excellent. All right, so we'll definitely look at this one. I like the drop here, and if looking back at our daily, just want to see when was the last time we had some levels around this area. Yeah, it looks like the beginning of the year, February, March time frame. We do have some areas of consolidation. No big no huge extreme levels where you have the candles going up and really reversing. It's just kind of just chucking along here, not really doing anything exciting, but we can get some levels off of that for sure. All right, let's go to NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers. We have NYMT up here. This one is 8.8 million shares traded, but again, look at this pre-market activity. It looks very algo-like trading, and the daily chart looks horrible as well. So I don't like the way this one is looking at all. It doesn't move much. Look at this. It's only a couple of pennies in between. So although you have this crazy amount of volume, 8.8 million shares, it's not really, it's more algos trading on this than anything. Next we have MAT. This one is 750,000 shares. Huge block trade right here. So not much going on right now. It does have an interesting daily chart. Had a big day yesterday, so we can look for this in our scans. But right now, guys, just a big block trade. Not any activity at the moment. One more popped up into number 2, HLIT 2.6. Yeah, there it is. I was looking for where the block trade is. So it looks like it's a block trade here from today, but I don't see it in the actual 5-minute charts. Yeah. Oh, here it is.
It's on the top of the time and sales right there.
Yeah, I'm wondering why this is not showing here on the 5, right? I could see it on the 1, but it's not showing on the 5. But you can see it on the time and sales right here, guys. So again, also one that's not really active today. TTOO here is up 25%, 527,000 shares traded. Crappy pre-market action right now, but let's see what's the float on this and what is going on. Seems to be a penny stock, guys. It's getting above over $1 actually it's not a low flow. It's 32 million shares flow, so it's just a lower price that looks like a penny stock the way it's trading under $1. So again, these stocks under $5, under $10 that have a higher flow are very difficult to trade. They're not easy, but we did have a great day yesterday. MNNK, right? That one was $2 and it traded very well, which is usually not the case with these lower price stocks. So we'll throw it on here. We'll come back to it and see how that continues. It does have some good volume, up 26% this morning, and the daily also does look interesting here. Coming back from, what was this, 50 cents? I mean, that's just not interesting when stocks go below $1 and are just trying to barely get above $1. It's just not something I really want to focus on. FCEL, penny stock, as we know, guys. NASDAQ ETF, slightly up today. ZS we have already, so this one's gapping down quite a bit. Very nice. LXRX, it's not looking interesting at all. I mean, look at this daily right now. It's just pretty crappy. The volume is here, 412,000 shares traded, but we're not getting a good clean pre-market activity off that volume. We do have some candles with 160, another 80 or so here, but we're not seeing great activity. Let's check what the float is, and then we can make a decision where we place this. It's 100, it's another one. So today's the low price large to mid flow stock day, looks like. So LXRX is also falls into that same category. It does have some volume, is up 30%. Had a big day yesterday, again creeping up above $1.20, looks like here at 222. So we'll see how the action develops there. Roku took a huge hit yesterday and the day before. Again, with the news of Apple, probably also it's just been so extended. I mean, look at this thing. This thing's just been climbing. So we'll see what we can get out of this today. I think Roku is going to be in play, guys. It's just been so active, so strong. A lot of movement out of Roku. We can see if we're going to hold this previous area of resistance. So you have several days here. We have some clear resistance bouncing right back down towards this level here. around 130 and then back up. Finally broke out of it and then was able to get up to 180. So we're back on here. We tested this 141. 59 area looks like, and then we bounced back yesterday. Today we can get a good continuation day. Right now the pre-market activity does look great for Roku. It's got some good volume, up 1.8. So let's definitely check out Roku. Let's take that U off, see how that does today. Our buddy AMD, I haven't been watching AMD lately. AMD has not been trading well at all. It's got some volume here, 343. But again, nothing really exciting out of AMD. It's just kind of stuck, really stuck within this range here. And in the intraday, you have several days that are great, but for the most part, they're not looking at all that best. So again, AMD is not looking too exciting. Since we're talking about AMD, let's just check out MU, see what MU is up to. MU has a much better daily chart than AMD. This thing has been moving. Yes, it looks like it just had a pretty indecision day. It is up 1.7 today, which is nice. So we'll keep MU on here. Let's head over to NASDAQ gainers. LXRX we have. I don't like it as much, but it is very active. So we'll see what that's going to turn out to be. Today, TTOO also very active. Not a low flow neither. It's a higher flow. I think this is a 30 million shares flow. And LXRX is 100. So that's decent. We have Love here. LOVE. This one, what we have, not much volume, guys. 50,000 shares. It is up quite a bit. This is the airline or no? Am I confusing this stock?
No, this is Lovesac.
Okay, all right, gotcha. So again, not sure what the deal is, but again, not a lot of volume. Go ahead.
They make foam furniture and such.
Foam furniture, interesting.
Yeah, like beanbag.
Oh, the beanbags. Okay. I'm thinking like
couches,
I'm thinking
couches
like
out of that.
I'm thinking like a foam couch. I'm like, interesting. All right, perfect. All right, so here we go. ABIO. This one is nasty. We have seen this one in our charts before, but it doesn't trade very well. You got to be very careful. It's very choppy. Look at this daily chart. You have more wicks than candles. I don't like when I see a daily chart like this. So again, it's up today, 16.7. Has some good volume, 148. Well, not great, but decent for this time frame. But again, it just doesn't trade very well. And it usually gaps up and sells off. So just be careful with this. OTLK. This one here is not much volume at the moment. This one can get pretty active pretty fast. Looks like a penny stock as well, so not much going on. AIMT, horrible, no action. WTER, same situation. This one always comes up here as well, doesn't do anything exciting. Fran, we do have this we can get a good continuation today. Had a great day yesterday, gapped up, sold off, and it came right back, so it held. And today it's been as high as 13. That's your high of your pre-market right now, 1340 on Fran. MRAN, this one here, no activity, no volume. SXTZ, also not looking all that great, nothing going on there. All right, so let's make some room here. Norm, what do you like this morning so far?
Not a ton, but a couple that I've got that haven't been mentioned yet. GME. I don't know that I'll trade it. It doesn't really fall in my parameters, but that's one. RH is moving on earnings news, and the only reason I won't trade RH, the only reason I want to bring it up is to remind everybody that despite its $155 price tag, it's a low float stock.
Yeah.
So be really careful, mind size on that one. And then the TTOO, LXRX, yes, they're not low floats, but they're tiny companies. Just keep in mind that MNK that we traded yesterday is really a different deal than that. That used to be a multi-billion dollar company in a pretty boring field, generic drug manufacturing predominantly. So while it's a biopharma company and some of these others are too, just the area of the business is more boring and such than some of these others. And the reason that it was getting hits because of the opioid crisis, it's a little bit different of a fundamental setup than TTOO or LXRX. So just keep that in mind because there are some similarities there, but I think in reality they're very different kind of setups and trades from an overall perspective.
All right, guys. Let's go to see what you guys have. So let's start over here. So we have your LRX and MNK are pretty similar. All right. Let me see. MU. Yeah, I like MU. So I just heard also they have an analyst upgrade as well. So that could be good to watch. They've been on a tear. I mean, the daily chart doesn't look all that great on this pop here, but they've been gapping up and holding and not selling back down. So that could be interesting. I'll definitely watch MU. Let's see Tesla. Let's see what's going on with Tesla. We haven't looked at that one in some time. Yeah, Tesla, I agree, has a very, very interesting daily chart. We're at an area of prior resistance. You can see here. We broke out a bit here, but come right back down, and then huge sell-off. Close to it, not quite. You have this moving average here, preventing it to getting back to this level. Yesterday, it actually held close at the previous day close of that line, and today we're slightly above it. So yeah, it could possibly be an area where it can break out from here. Doesn't have a lot of great volume here, but at the open that is obviously going to change, and you do have some room to run here. You do have a room all the way up here. Your moving average are below it, besides this one all the way far out, the 200. So again, I think you got some potential here on the daily chart on Tesla. Let's take a look at Teva. Teva, same situation. Again, pretty much you have this resistance here in the previous day close. Had a good day yesterday, and you could possibly have some continuation today. Let me see how we're looking with the volume on Teva. And volume is good too. Yeah, Teva looks interesting. I had 187,000 shares traded so far. It is up 1.5. Yeah, Teva could be something we can definitely look at. It's not coming up in our scanners because the ATR is pretty low. It's been difficult to trade in the last couple of months or weeks when it's been just chopping around here, you know. So hopefully it can get going here. But it seems to have found two really good days and some good momentum on Teva. Next we have AZN. AZN we had yesterday didn't look good. This is a foreign stock.
Foreign stock. Yeah.
Yeah, is this no, it's not. I thought it was one of those Argentinian stock where we had that huge drop, but it's not. This is different. But yeah,
this is AstraZeneca. It's a European drug manufacturer.
Yeah, so this doesn't look great, guys. We have a lot of better stocks that we can watch this morning, so we'll take this one out. And then we have ACB. So ACB here is up 1.1, 144,000 shares traded. It's been had a good day yesterday. And today could possibly be having a continuation day, but I just don't like a lot of the activity right now. It's pretty light on the pre-market here. And again, I just think this is a tough stock to trade, really. The few times I touched it, I personally have not done very well with it. So I won't have it on my list, but this could be a possible today if you want to watch that. All right, let's look at what else we have. MU. Yeah, I like MU, guys. Go ahead, Norm.
I just wanted to throw out one thing on Fran, too. If you take a look at that, especially pull up the daily. So Fran, they had a little bit better earnings than expected a few days ago, popped up. This is another short squeeze. And just note that it's low float, 42%, 2.8 million shares float, and 42% of that was held short. It traded 21 million shares yesterday, so over like 10, almost 11 times its entire float.
Yeah.
So anybody that was short and forced to cover and caused the pop that it got easily could be out of that. There could be 0 shares short anymore, period. Mm-hmm. And you just got to watch out for getting killed in something like that if you take it, because if that squeeze is over and nothing's there and it's still a garbage company, it could come crashing down as fast as it popped up. So just keep an eye on that what happened in the last 2 days.
That is absolutely correct. So again, and then you mentioned, Norm, this is at least 2 week old, right? 2 weeks old, this short flow in percentage.
Yeah, correct. It's reported twice a month, and then there's a delay after the reporting date that it's released.
Yeah. So again, be very careful, guys, with that information. This information was good when we were hanging around here doing nothing, right? But now after this, you got to be very careful. It could be a lot less this morning. And even this morning, you can see this huge pop all the way up to 1340. So I can imagine some other people are covering as well and getting, hoping and wishing it will come back down, and it has not. So we mentioned that BPTH squeeze. William did a great video on that, so check that out on what happens behind the scenes with this firm that actually got killed. The guy, lost millions and millions of dollars. So this stuff does happen in the back. All right, let's take a look at ALLY. What do we have here? Not much action on this one right now. It has a good pop over the last couple of days, leaving these moving averages very nice here. Getting over to this prior resistance and getting above it yesterday, but again, not a lot of activity this moment. All right, guys, let me see what else. We'll look at T. Let's see what T has going on today. Let's remove some of these levels. We'll get some fresh ones. So T at the moment is gapping up 1.1. Yeah, we could get a continuation day. It's got some volume, not the best pre-market activity. I think most of it is because we got this huge candle here with a lot of volume, 138. So most of the volume sitting on that candlestick. But it's gapping up. It's gapping up, and you have your prior area right here of the high from 2 days ago. So this could be a good possible as well if it can get some momentum here. And it's been on a tear, man. Look, let's go back here. It's been on a tear since what, in March? I mean, this thing has been on a huge uptrend. This thing was trading around 27 bucks, not at 38. For T, that's a lot because T doesn't move very much. So yeah, we can watch this. We'll at least put some levels to it. We might not have it on our final list, but at least let's be ready for it. And we do have GME, so we'll get into the details of GME this morning. All right, guys, so I think we have quite a bit. Let's get into announcements, and then we will come back and do support and resistance this morning.
All right, the Mike Belfiore interview from S&B Capital is up on YouTube. If you have not had a chance to look at it, go to our channel. Take a look. It's well worth watching. Really great interview, great guy. So we can all learn a lot from what he does for the trading community. DAS #1 Best Trader competition currently ongoing. You can go to their website for the competition at onebesttrader.com. And they've got a live leaderboard. BBT is well represented. It's awesome to take a look at that. You can see the trades that are in there. Bearable Traders honored to be nominated for the Benzinga FinTech Awards under People's Choice Best Financial Literacy Tool category. So if you enjoy the content that we push out, if you enjoy being part of the chat room, we would very much appreciate your vote. You can vote one time per day, per device. It takes about 2 seconds. The link is up in the top that ABL has put up. Meetups, we've got several up there for space right now. The only one that's listed is New York City, September 21st. It's, of course, a week from this coming Saturday with Dr. Brett Steenbarger. Really, really great. Attendance looks like we're going to have. You do have to get a ticket. It's still free. There's a link in the alert section that you can click to sign up for that. We'd love to see you there. Drinks are on us. Talk about Dr. Steenbarger, and then a little bit of fellowship, hanging out, talking, chatting, mingling, and such. So looking forward to that. And on that note, if anybody out there is going or part of the community or anything of that nature that is a photographer or videographer, we would love to take you up on your services for that. So if you could, email me, norm@bearabletraders.com. You can also message me in the room. That's quite all right. And see if we can find somebody from the community to take some professional or close to it pictures and maybe video for that. New Bearable Buzz came out this following weekend. We'd love to get your feedback on it. We tweaked the format just a little bit, so love to hear what you guys have to say about that. And then if you're watching us on YouTube and you have not been a part of the room or not been in the room and you'd like to give it a try, see what our live trading is like all day, you can get a 1-week trial that does not auto-renew at a discount if you use the promo code PREMARKET24. If you're watching us on YouTube, you know that we've got all kinds of free content we push out, from obviously the pre-market show that we're doing right now, Ask Me Anything, Williams Trade Reviews, all kinds of things of that nature. Be sure to click subscribe and the notification bell, and you will be notified whenever we start up a live broadcast or release any content. One thing I want to add for today as well, it is 9/11, so in honor of all the lives lost during the 9/11 attacks 18 years ago in Lower Manhattan, we will be observing a moment of silence at 9:20 a.m. Eastern time in the chat room, and we ask that everybody in the Andrew should be here at that time, and we'll be doing that. But we ask everybody in the chat room at that time if they could refrain from typing in the chat on both main chat and off topic for 1 minute. So thank you.
All right, thank you guys. All right, so let's get to it. Here's our list so far. If anything comes up, guys, that looks great, let us know. Let's start over with play. So play, it is down 14%. Again, Dave & Buster's with some news that didn't go over too well. So I'm gonna keep the levels I have already. I do like the 38.02. This is a nice level here of support. Towards the bottom, the low of the pre-market is at 36.48. So I'm going to mark that down. And then the high of your pre-market, we can move this 38.02 down to the high of the pre-market. It's close enough that we can have that level instead. 37.78 so is a closer level to the price action. So we'll keep that on there. You also want to be aware of this one on here. I mean, it's pretty close to the price action now, but I'm going to mark it down. 37.27. This is also the last area of resistance above the price action right now before we get to that 37.77. If we decide to do a little comeback, we do have this 39.99, which has been a very, very good support and resistance across the board since we had this drop. But I also want to get, since the price has dropped lower, I want to get this one on here. Looks like a very good spot, 38.82. You can see how several days on here has got a nice bounce, really holding that line perfectly here. We lost it a bit, came back, retested, and then you can see several days also testing that as support one more time. So we got some pretty decent levels towards the top because this daily chart is pretty nice here. It's got some good pivot points that we have marked down. So let's go back. Let's see when's the last time we've been lower than 36.48. All right, so that's a year. Now I'm switching over to a weekly chart. So after a year, guys, I usually just go back to a weekly chart because it makes not that it makes no sense, but it's you want to get a weekly chart after a year. It just makes it easier to find some levels of support and resistance. So if we go in here below this 36.46, which is your low of your pre-market, we do have an area right here, and I actually like this one off the weekly, 34.66. You can see several days on here on this nice run. We have some resistance happening here. Then we have the nice breakout, retest also of that same prior resistance, beautiful pop once after it leaves that, and then here again support and resistance around that 34.66. so that's great. And then towards the bottom, in case we really flush today, I don't think we're going to probably have that type of flush, but 32.41, and just for the heck of it, this thing is just sticking out like a sore thumb. 29.58, we'll mark that down. All right, so let's go back to our daily on this chart and see how that looks. Yeah, this looks very, very good. Again, this level here is very close to the price action. Normally I wouldn't put it there, but I think it can play a part in this action this morning. ZS, this one here, it's got some good volume, down 21%. This is nice. What's the ATR on this? Some of these candles look like they're a buck. ZS. So ATR is $3.37, which is quite high for a stock that's now trading at 48 bucks, guys. This thing dropping 13 bucks from the close. So you want to be very careful in the number of shares you take on this one. This bad boy can move on you quite a bit. So high of the pre-market sitting at 50.51. Below this pre-market low right now at 48.05. So I'm gonna mark that down just to see how that plays out. Let's head back here. Look how we lost this 60, right? We lost this 60 area. This was prior support as well. You can see going back to April, May, and March. So let's see. So the next area. All right, so I see something right on here. That's the next area of above the pre-market high, looks like. Yeah, so 50.60 was prior resistance all the way up here. And now the next gap up that we have, there's nothing here all the way back to where the price action is now. There's nothing in between here. So 55, 54 is the best level we have. Yeah, I don't see anything going back, so that's decent. And then towards the bottom of the price sitting right now at 45.48, 40 cents above our low of the pre-market. You do have an area right here. I like this one a lot, actually. 46.67. You got the resistance, and you got the breakout retest of that prior resistance, and then the pop. So that's nice. So we got plenty. I'm just gonna get one more, guys, because this thing does look a little bit weak, just in case. Another low one right here. I do like on this day. I know this looks pretty small. But on this day here, you do have resistance at that 44.15. Just have one more just in case things decide to really go south here. We're prepared. So here's our levels. Again, pre-market activity is very active. This is a beautiful, beautiful pre-market activity. Look at the action here. Look at the nice trading that we're getting, the beautiful candles, and also the volume, 708,000 shares traded, down 21%. And the float on this is nice, 90 million shares flow, so that's good. TTOO, this one here, not my type of style of stock to trade. It does have some great volume. We're going to do some levels for it, but I might not keep this one, guys. Just don't, not liking the way this one is looking on the daily. So we do high of the pre-market 215. Your low is at 177. And if we go back here, look how that 215 was tested here, that 177 tested here, as well as a couple of days here, here, and here. Oh, actually all across this. So you can see that 177 is important. You do want to have that on your list. Above this 215, above this gap we had back in June, looks like May area, 242. That's a good price range you want to have. Look at the support of that 242. And then just one more, just in case we run like crazy here. We have a nice one here at 285. And then towards the bottom, guys, you have your highs and lows, previous day close, and some moving averages right around this area, 140. You can see how it's just been consolidating. So you're going to have all those levels you can play with there towards the bottom. So TTOO, and the float on this one, it's not a low float. It's TTOO is actually 32 million shares flow. So it's not a low float. It's not going to drop a dollar or two on you, but just be careful. It's a lower price. You do want to watch how many shares you take. LXRX, this one here is not as clean as TTOO is with their pre-market activity. This one doesn't look as clean. It does have great volume though, 732,000 shares traded. I definitely do not like the pre-market activity on this one, so I'm probably not gonna watch this one. But your high of your pre-market is 232. Your low is at exactly $2. Outside of that, we have a huge gap here going up to 25. All right, so now I'm going past a year here. Is this the first time they've been down here, going towards a weekly? Yeah. So this is yeah, that's the next level. It's gonna be that that pop there at $5 or so. So that is the next level towards the top, guys. You do have some areas you want to mark down here though. Obviously on this type of stock, you want to watch for your $3, $2.50, $2.75, those whole dollar areas you want to be aware. But you do have a nice moving average right at 303. Roughly around $3. So you want to have that marked down as well. But again, here you want to watch out for the 250, 240, 260. You're going to have some kind of loss of momentum or resistance buildup like we did on MNK yesterday. We had that 350 area. We did have some loss of momentum there, and then it finally got up to 388. So be mindful of that. Let's see. Hopefully, pre-action could get a little better here. Looks like it wants to test that pre-market high one more time, and the volume is there, 745. Here's Roku. I think Roku is going to be a good one to watch. I'm just going to remove these levels to get some fresh ones, since we did have two big drops the last couple of days. So towards the bottom, you have your previous day close, which is nice. You have your low from yesterday, which is right on here. Let's get one more level towards the bottom in case we retest. We lose this 140. We do have 128.70. That's a nice one to have on there. And then right in between here, you do have 133.86 as well. Towards the top, guys, you have kind of a midpoint. It's 153.49, and you also have a nice moving average right on there. And I don't think you need to add any more after that. Maybe you want to add the high of the pre-market at 147.47, but I'm not gonna make this too complex here. We do have some great highs and lows from the last two trading days as well, so we'll see what kind of action we get out of Roku today. Here's MU. I'm gonna watch MU today. Is gapping up a bit, 1.7, some good volume. This is actually not good volume, it's great volume for MU. 371,000 shares traded. Let's remove some of these levels and get some fresh ones. We do have our high sitting at 50.52. Our low is right at the high of the last two trading days, so that's very good support there. Then towards the bottom, you do have your previous day close and then the lows of the last two trading days, so you don't need to really add any more towards the bottom. Let's see when was the last time we've been above 50 on MU. Nice little comeback on MU, getting higher here. So okay, here we go. Going back to September of last year, exactly 1 year from today, we do have a level here at 51.68. Very clean one all the way up here at 53.73. And I want to see if I can get something in between here. You know what? This one could be a good one here. This 52, 46 can also be an area. So that is MU today. I'm definitely going to watch this one. I think it's been on a nice little run here. We might get some kind of continuation today on it. GME, it looks interesting, guys. It's down 14.1. It had actually 2 big days. The last 2 trading days. We have plenty of levels towards the top. No need to add anymore. Your low from yesterday, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days in here. Previous day closed around 509, 510. And then your low of your pre-market sitting right at some moving averages at 414. And below that, we do have this nice level here. This 369 is so nice. You got resistance. You got several days just bouncing off that 369. So you want to have that on there as well. So we'll see what kind of movement we get out of GME. My issue with GME is that it doesn't move very much. Again, the ATR is very low. That's why it's not on this gappers list here in Trade Ideas. But again, if it moves like it did the day before and yesterday, it could be a good possible nice play. Teva. So Teva is a great possible, guys. I think it could break out of here. We do have some levels for it already. 809, 801 is a low for pre-market. 786, we have an area here. Previous day close. 847 is still a good level because where the price action is now, we have not been above here since this area here around mid-August, right? So this is still a good level here. 847, 888 still a great level because again we have no recent levels in this area. So that 888 a nice support and resistance. So and the last one here, T could be a good continuation day. It's got some good volume. It's up 1.1 and we have some great levels already. I don't think you need to add anymore. And this is all-time high, Norm, I think, right? Let me just check the weekly chart. Nope, take that back. Going back to last year, we do have a level here at 39.29, and then just want to see if we can find another one on here. Actually, right on here, yeah, 38.70. So that's good. All right, so that we could get a good continuation play, guys. You got some 2 levels above, and then towards the bottom, previous day close, and then highs and low from the last 2 trading days on this beautiful run up. So we'll see what we can get out of T. And then for our low flow, guys, I'm not going to watch this one today. I think this one's just going to be a little wild, Fran. But for the low flow team, that's definitely one you want to have on your list. It's very active this morning, up 7.2. All right, Andrew's ready to come on, guys. Thank you on YouTube for joining us. This is our watch list. We're going to fine tune this a little more. Andrew's going to go over his list, and then we'll see CDLX coming up in our gappers list. So we'll check that one out as we get closer to the open. Take care, guys. Trade safe, and we'll see you guys later.
Trade safe, guys. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow morning.